So we are going to start in a seated position. So find your way into a comfortable seat today, this afternoon or noon. Like I said before, we're going to work on fine-tuning or just tuning into our leg mobility, finding a little bit more strength, stability from the feet up, as well as opening the regions of our legs to find a little bit more space. So when you come into your seat, find a seat that feels right for your legs, into your hips, into your spine. You're more than welcome to sit cross-legged Sukhasana or kneeling position as I am in Virasana, but I'm sitting upon a block in between my heels, in between my feet, just to give myself a little bit of lift, not so much pressure in the knee joints. But I like this shape just because it starts to help open up the fronts of our legs a little bit more. But again, do what feels right for you. And always take your time to find the seat if that feels comfortable for you this morning. And then once you have your seat, feel free to close your eyes. We'll just take the first few moments to come into this present moment, to ground, to connect from within. Allowing the hands, palms to rest on your thighs, palms facing down, the small gesture or mudra. Drawing our attention more inward. And just start to shift your body weight a little bit forward, a little bit back, from side to side. And just feeling your center of gravity underneath the pelvic floor. Where your sit bones, the heels of our sit bones or the pelvis grounds from right to left side evenly. Allow the shoulder blades to drop down the backside. But noticing that slight tone and lift from the pelvic floor up into the lower abdomen. The center of the heart, front and back body. The neck space. From the roof of the mouth out through the crown. So as if there's a string aligning from the ground of earth up into the space of the cosmos. Maybe you see a star above you. That nice, long, connective line of energy. And then just notice the quality of your natural breath. Notice with every inhale that sense of expansion. And the exhale, the contraction. Maybe just feel it in your lung space or the chest, heart space. Maybe feel a bit further into the lower lobes of the lungs, the lower abdomen, the lower back. So just staying with the sensation that you feel in this moment in time with your natural breath. Notice if we're holding or gripping into any area of the body, physical body. If you scan from the crown, you work your way down. With every exhale, can you ask yourself to soften in that space? As we bring the attention more inward into the breath, again, with keeping the natural breath, just notice the area of the pelvic floor. So again, as we inhale, the sense of expansion, the pelvic floor kind of releases, extends downward. And then as we exhale, it's like tone and lift from the pelvic floor, drawing back in and up. So this pulsating action of our pelvic floor. So it's never really holding or gripping, but allowing that fluctuation of expansion or in contraction. The opening and then the drawing back in and out. And our pelvic floor is that main energy source that kind of connects the lower extremities up into the upper body, into the torso. It's also known as Mula Bandha, lock of the pelvic floor. Just noticing the pulsating action with your natural breath. And with every inhale, the sense of expansion, gripping, it kind of opens up and out, and the exhale, it draws back in and out, the contraction. We'll come back to that sensation throughout our practice, especially as we work from the stability of our legs. We'll start to invite breath in with more intention. We'll just work with a circular breath. I'll guide you through a few rounds with counted breath, and then you'll start to find your own rhythm of your breath. Let's do 3 cleansing breaths to start. Draw the navel in, open the mouth, exhale everything out. Take a big breath in through the nose. And open the mouth, exhale, feel free to let it go with a sigh. 2 more, big breath in. Exhaling it out. 1 more time, big breath in. And then exhaling. Seal your lips. As you inhale, breathe in through the nose. Count to 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale through the nose. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Maintaining that count of 4, maybe it elongates, can even shorten. We're finding the equal wave of breath from the inhale to exhale, exhale back into the inhale. Samavriti, if you know Ujjayi, victorious breath, feel free to invite that into the body. Let's go ahead, bring the chin into the chest, take a big breath into the back of the neck, back of the collarbones, back of the shoulder blades. And you're more than welcome to keep the eyes open or softly open them. Gently bring your head and neck back up to center. We're going to come into Janu Sirsasana to start. So feel free to still sit upon something, maybe a blanket or a bolster or even a pillow. Bring the right leg out laterally first. Left heel comes into the groin. We're going to bring the right hand out to the outer edge of your right hip and slightly behind you, just to give our front body a little bit more space. If you want a little bit more intensity in the stretch, you can always bring your hand to the inner edge of your right leg, right thigh. When you're ready, on an inhale, reach the left arm up and over to the right. The main thing we want to do is keep the left hip grounded, so you decide on how far you go. I like to keep the right leg, right foot fairly active here to support. Draw the thigh bone gently down as you reach out to the sole of the foot. You can even spread the toes. And then you decide where your head and neck should be. What feels good for the neck space today? You can look up, look forward, you can look down. And however your right arm, whichever variation you're taking, think of lifting out of the shoulder blade, the shoulder head, and draw the shoulder blade down the back body. Just take a few big breaths behind the right leg, left side body here. We're going to come into some gentle flossing action just to open up the neck, the shoulder space. When you're inhale, think of lengthening up to the left side of the body. You can even rotate your left chest towards the ceiling. And then as you exhale, draw the front body slightly in and down. You can allow your left arm to kind of drape with the motion. And then inhale, gently drawing back up and slightly out. Exhale, draw back in and down. And just a couple more. The left elbow can always have a slight bend. It doesn't have to be super locked out straight. And allowing the head and neck to kind of follow this gentle rotation on the left side. Let's do one more round here. And the next time you come up and out, just hold for another big breath. Exhaling here. Then inhale, reach your left fingertips up to come back up. We'll switch sides. Left leg out laterally, right heel comes to the inner thigh, groin. Left leg active. Come into the same variation you did on the opposite side. And then when you're ready, keeping your right hip grounded, inhale, reach your right arm up, over to the left. And we just hold for a few big breaths, opening to the right side body, lengthening out to the left leg, left thigh. Shoulder blades down the back, kind of breathing more into the lung space to find that slight lift up and out. Again, head and neck wherever feels best in the lateral stretch. You can always check in, just see where it feels nice on this side. We'll start to come into that flossing action. So take a big breath here, and as we exhale, draw the front body in to round gently forward and down. And again, the right elbow can softly bend, allowing the right arm to drape. And then inhale brings us back up and out. And exhale back in and down. And just a few more on your own. Keeping the hips grounded, supportive, so the upper body can have a little bit more freedom as it moves. Even the fingertips can get a little bit softer here. You can allow the head and neck to follow the rotation on the right side of the body. And the next time you come up and out, we hold here on the exhale. Inhale, reach your right fingertips up to come back up. And let's come to hands and knees, tabletop position. Support your knees if you need to. Hands, shoulders width apart, knees are hip width. Just a few rounds of cat-cow to start. So as you inhale, draw the chest, heart forward. As you exhale, press down, draw the front body in and up, chin to chest, tailbone tucks. Inhale, you lengthen out. Exhale, we draw back in. Let's do two more. The last one here. We're going to add a little bit more movement. So inhale, come back into your cow shape, the extension of the spine. Then as you exhale, round as if you're coming into cat, but let your hips shift back toward your heels to child's pose. When you inhale, come back to tabletop, hands and knees. On the exhale, tuck toes, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, shift forward, tabletop, knees to the floor. Exhale, rounding, cat shape. Inhale, chest, heart forward. On the next exhale, we round back and down, child's pose. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, tuck toes, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale, bend the knees to the floor, tabletop position. Exhale, round the spine, cat. Inhale, chest, heart forward, cow shape. Exhale, hips to the heels as we round back and down to child's. Inhale, tabletop. Exhale, tuck toes, hips back and up, downward facing dog. We'll stay here for 2 more big breaths. Pressing down through all 10 fingers till the inner elbows hug in. Biceps rotate forward. Triceps around and back towards your toes. Heels reaching to the floor, outer hips reaching up to the sky. Draw your front body in. Think babe to the spine. Hugging baby into body. Next inhale, shift forward back to tabletop. We're going to stay here for a few more positions or shapes, I should say. So feeling a little bit more strength with opposite limb extension. We'll work on the right side first, so right leg. Right leg will step back, stay on the ball mound of your right foot just to stabilize. Notice how we tend to lean into the left hip, outer hip. We want to hug that in, rotating outer right hip down. Draw the front body in. Again, think baby into spine. And then lift your right leg up no higher than parallel to the floor, hip height. You can stay right here if you want more challenge. Left arm reaches forward parallel to the floor, palm facing in. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, think right knee to left elbow. Inhale, reach out. Exhale, we drop back in. 4 more on this side. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last round, inhale. Exhale. Inhale, lengthen. On the exhale, let your left hand come to the floor. You're going to reach your right leg out to the right, laterally, and then you can check your alignment. You want the inner edge of your right foot in line with your left knee. Left hip still stacked on top of your left knee, so you might need to reach your right foot a little bit further out to the right. We're going to come into some neck, shoulder release. So keeping the right arm on the floor, on an inhale, reach your left arm up. On the exhale, reach your left arm forward into the chest. Inhale, left arm reaches up. Exhale, forward into the chest. Let's do one more. Inhale, reach up. And then exhale, left hand back down. Go ahead, bring right knee underneath your right hip. Let's come up to both knees. Hands can come to your hips for balance. We'll come into a lunge, so let's bring, let's go ahead, bring right leg forward. So we're opening left side. Just find your natural lunge or your low lunge position here. Right knee over your right ankle. Press down to the right foot, draw the thigh bone back, wrapping outer hip underneath you. And then once you're here, think of lengthening the tailbone straight down. Lift from the pubic bone to the navel. Again, we're drawing front body into the body, spine. And then shoulders stay over hips. Feel free to let your hips shift forward and down. So again, we're getting a little bit more into the left hip flexor. So just take a few big breaths here. Hands can stay on your hips, or you can always bring your hands to your right thigh. One more big breath. We're going to come into half Hanumanasanas, half splits. So fingertips can come to the floor. If you have blocks, hands to your blocks. You want to keep left hip over left knee. So slide your right leg, right foot a little bit more forward out in front. Right leg doesn't have to get super locked out straight. Flex the foot, wrap your outer right hip underneath. And then inhale, find length in the chest, heart, spine. And you're more than welcome to stay upright, especially if you're bigger in the front. Or you can always come deeper into the forward fold. And again, we'll take a few big breaths. If you have more mobility behind the right leg, behind the right hip, feel free to walk your right leg out further in front of you, coming closer to a full split. So you don't have to get there today, though. And keep reaching out for the sole of your right foot, drawing your outer right hip underneath, hugging outer left hip in so we're not leaning into the left side. Couple more big breaths. Next inhale, gently slide your right foot underneath right knee. Let's bring right knee underneath right hip. Hands to the floor, tuck your toes, lift your hips up and back, come into downward facing dog. 3 big breaths. Feel free to kind of pedal it out. Next inhale, you'll come back to tabletop. We're going to do that same sequence on the opposite side. So arm extension, leg extension. Step your left foot back, send the ball of your left foot just to ground. Hug your outer right hip in, wrapping outer left hip down. Draw the front body in. Float left leg up, no higher than parallel hip height from the floor. You can stay here or reach your right arm forward, palm facing in. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, right elbow to left knee, drawing into the front body. Inhale, expand, extend. Exhale, we hug in. 4 more. Last 3. Last round here. Next inhale, extend out. Right hand to the floor, slide or step your left foot out to the left, laterally away from you, abducting. Make sure right hip is on top of the knee, so you might need to shift the body weight a little bit out to the left a little bit more. Inner sole or inner arch of your left foot in line with your right knee. We'll come into that next shoulder release again. So you'll shift your body weight to your left hand. On an inhale, reach your right arm up. Over to the front, elbow draws into chest. 2 more, inhale. Exhaling, forward, elbow draws in. 1 more time. Gentle twisting action too. Inhale, reach your right arm up. And right hand back to the floor underneath the shoulder. Slide your left knee back underneath your left hip. Come to both knees. We'll come into the low lunge. So step left foot forward on this side. Hands can stay on your hips for balance. Left ankle fairly underneath the knee to start. Draw the thigh bone back. Wrap the outer hip underneath. I like to ground down to the top of my back foot. Imagine spreading through the toes. And feel even the top of your right foot flat to the floor as if the sole of your foot's on the floor. Lengthen tailbone. Draw through the front body in and up. Once you have that alignment in the hips, the pelvis, then you can allow your hips to shift forward. Getting a little bit further into the hip flexors so as stretch on the right side, front of the right hip, right quadricep. A few big breaths here. Hands can stay on your hips, hands can come to your left thigh. And as we hold in this shape, if you feel like you have the mobility to come a little bit further, feel free to do that. But again, always listen to your own body, from right side to left side. We'll come into the half splits. Next inhale, hands to your blocks or maybe to the floor. It could be fingertips to the floor. Wrists fairly underneath the shoulders, keeping the right hip over the right knee. Walk your left leg out as far as you can. Again, left leg doesn't have to get super locked out straight. Flex the foot, spread the toes. Think of drawing the thigh bone gently back into the hip joint, wrapping outer left hip underneath. Inhale, you'll lengthen out to the heart space. On the exhale, you have the option to come deeper into the fold. And again, we'll hold for a few big breaths. Once you feel like you have a little bit more mobility or range of motion, you can always come into a fuller expression of your splits. You could just be walking your left foot out further, maybe an inch or so. It doesn't have to be a big leap to feel the stretch. One more big breath here. Let's go ahead, slide left knee underneath left hip, hands to the floor. We'll come back into downward facing dog. And we'll stay there for about 3 big breaths. Feel free to pedal it out, kind of shake it out, sigh it out. Let's go ahead, walk the hands back to our feet, come into a forward fold. Open the feet wide as you need to make space for your front abdomen. Let your knees have a bend. Hands can always come to blocks. If you can, maybe grab opposite elbows. Hands can always come to your thighs for support. You're more than welcome to come in ragdoll, so you're allowing your whole upper body hang forward and down. But again, do what feels right. Relax the head and neck, shoulders, and sway. And sometimes it's just kind of feeling it out, because I know we feel different from every day, especially as we go through our own pregnancy paths within our own journeys. So allow yourself to kind of be curious in how you feel today, whether it's anatomically, mentally, emotionally, as well as subtly, the energetic body. I feel like we become a little bit more sensitive to our energetic body in this process. We're attuned to it. So make your way into stillness in your forward fold. We'll gently roll up, so bring your hands to your hips. Feet are strong into the floor. Draw the lower belly in and up as you roll one vertebra up at a time. Gently making your way into standing position. We'll come to the front edge of our mat. And this is where a block, or whatever you're using as a block, can be very nice in that inner seam connection of strength building. Where we're going to place the block between the inner thighs, if you're using a prop today, whether it's a block or a rolled up towel or blanket. And closer to the pubic bone, it builds a little bit more strength in a certain different way. But it can also bring a lot to the lower back. So if you need to release space from the lower back, more between your inner knees would be better. So you can kind of just feel it out, what feels right. And you'll find your Tadasana here, mountain pose. Let your arms just by your sides, palms turning forward. Shoulder blades down the backside, but this nice lift from the heart out through the crown as your feet root down. Feel free to even lift the toes from the floor, all 10 toes, rooting down through the ball mound of your big toe, baby toe, the whole circumference of your heel. As we do, we feel this sense of pressing down, but this lifting up from the inner arches of the feet, from the inner calves, thighs. The thighs hug into your prop. Lengthen the tailbone down to the back knees. And that, again, tone and lift from pelvic floor, lower abdomen. We're hugging baby into spine. So strong standing position here. We're going to come into some tiptoes or mountain extensions, I call them. So on your inhale, hands can come to your hips for balance, or you can keep your arms by your sides. But with your next inhale, you're going to come up high to your toes, the bottom ends of your feet. Arms can come up with you. On the exhale, slowly lower your feet, arms back down. And just 5 more like this. All the time hugging your block, lengthening through the tailbone so we keep the pelvis neutral so we don't take it into the lower back. And that lift from the inner seam all the way up to the front body, out to the crown, even the fingertips if they're coming up. Do 3 more. Strengthening from our feet, ankles, into the knees, into the hips, even our buttocks here. Pelvic floor, core, they too are connected into this movement, into these shapes. Next time you come to the floor, just take a moment, mountain pose. We're going to keep the block where it's at for chair dynamics. So on your next inhale, go ahead, bend your knees, arms and chest up chair. And you decide on how low you get. The lower we sit, the more we take it into the thighs, building strength into the back, core. On your exhale, keep your chair pose, but bring your arms back toward your hips. Draw the shoulder blades into the back body. Inhale, arms come forward and up. Press down to stand all the way up. Urdhva Hastasana, slight back bend if that feels good. Exhale, chair pose. Inhale here. Exhale, stay in your chair as you reach your arms back. Draw the shoulder blades in, hugging in. Inhale, press down all the way up and out. Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, chair. Inhale here. Exhale, arms reach back to the hips, shoulder blades hug in. Inhale, we press down as we reach forward, up and out. Urdhva Hastasana, slight back bend at the top if that feels okay. Exhale, chair. Inhale here. Exhale, reach your arms back, shoulder blades hug in. Inhale, we press all the way up and out. Last round here. Exhale, chair. Inhale here. Exhale, reach the arms back. Draw the shoulder blades in. Hug them in. Inhale, press down. Reach up and out. And then exhale, arms by your sides, Tadasana. Go ahead and remove the prop. Just place it to the side. And from here, you can bring your feet a little bit closer for balance. Let's bring your hands to your hips. We'll shift the body weight to your right foot. Bring your left knee up to the chest. So maybe you come in into 90-degree angle. It could be a lot. It could be sensitive in our the round ligaments. So if you're kind of feeling that sensitivity, left toes can just gracefully plant to the floor like a kickstand. You're going to keep the body weight on your right foot as you reach your left leg back. Come into Warrior One stance, Virabhadrasana 1. You might need to shift a little bit in your stance depending on how open you feel. Always support your body. And then feel free to float your arms up and out. Rooting down to the sole of your right foot, the ball mound of your big toe, inner heel. The right knee pointing in the same direction of your toes. Same time, wrapping outer hip underneath, right hip. Outer left hip rotating forward, planting down to the outer edge of your left foot, lifting up to the inner thigh. Keep lengthening through the tailbone. Draw the front body in. We're going to add some gentle heart opener here. So as we inhale, lengthen out through the front, back, side to side bodies. Exhale, bring your elbows out to the side, cactus shape arms. 2 more, inhale. Exhale. 1 more time. Exhaling cactus. Inhale, Virabhadrasana 1, warrior 1. On your next exhale, open to the left, warrior 2. Find your stance in your warrior 2. Inner arch in line with the right heel, looking over your right fingertips. Still lengthen through the tailbone, grounding through the feet, that sense of lifting up through the inner seams, pelvic floor up to the front body. We're going to add a little bit movement here. So as you inhale, reach out or lengthen out the right leg. Let your arms come up to the center. Good. Exhale, bend the right knee, warrior 2. Inhale, we reach up and out. Exhale, warrior 2. Inhale. Exhale. Let's do one more. Inhale. Exhale. On your next inhale, reach out through both legs. Keep your right leg long. On your exhale, arms back to parallel. Triangle pose. Reach your right fingertips forward. Right hand to your calf or a block. Your block can come to the inner seam of your right foot, maybe the outer edge of your right foot. Left hand can stay on your hip for balance. Just check in, where does your head, your neck, your eye gaze feel best? You can always keep your left hand on your hip. If you want a little bit more, reach your left arm up. Think of opening through the chest space. As we ground down through the feet, we hug in from our outer hips. We still want to lengthen the tailbone down or back. Draw the front body in and up from the inner arches of the feet, all the way through the pelvic floor, hugging baby into spine, shoulders down the backside. Next inhale, reach your left fingertips up, come back up. On the exhale, bend your right knee, warrior 2. Let's step left foot forward to meet right, as gracefully as you can, mountain pose. Take a moment in stillness, or you're more than welcome to kind of shake it out. From here, we'll shift the body weight to the left foot. Hands to your hips for balance. Hugging the outer hip in as we shift the body weight to the left. You can keep your right toes on the floor as a kickstand, or right knee comes to your chest. And then slowly extend your right leg back. Find your warrior 1 stance. Opening the right side, grounding down to the left and right foot equally. Once you're here, arms can reach forward, up and out. Rooting down through the ball mound of your left foot, inner heel. Wrapping the left outer hip underneath. Press down and out through the outer edge of your right foot heel, rotating inner thigh back, up. Lengthen through the tailbone. Draw that sense of your inner seam in and up. All the way up to the fingertips, the crown. We'll add the cactus shape arms. Inhale here. Exhale, elbows bend out to the side, shoulder blades hug in and down. Inhale. Exhale, cactus. One more time, inhale. Exhale, cactus. Inhale, warrior 1. Exhale, open to the right, warrior 2. Virabhadrasana 2. Take your time getting there. Finding your alignment. Inner arch of your right foot with the left heel. Looking over left fingertips. Keep lengthening through the tailbone. Draw the front body in and up. We'll come into that same movement. So as we inhale, lengthen out through the left leg. Let your arms reach up, out. Exhale, warrior 2. 3 more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last one here. Exhale. Inhale, lengthen up and out. Keep the left leg straight as you bring your arms back parallel to the floor. Trikonasana triangle. Reach your left fingertips forward, down to a shin, your shin, or a block. Again, you decide if it's on the inner edge of your left leg or outer edge. Hand to hip, right hip, for balance and support. The most important thing, again, is we don't want to lean into our outer left hip. So rather than letting the buttocks shift back, press down to the left foot, ball mound of your big toe heel. You can always have a slight bend in the left knee. Wrap outer left hip underneath as your right hip rotates slightly forward in. Draw the long front of your body in as you lengthen out. And then you're twisting from your chest space. Right hand can stay in your hip, arm can come up. In your neck and head, wherever feels best in this shape. Shoulder blades down the back, rooting down to the feet as we expand into the right side in the shape. And next inhale, reach your right fingertips up, come back up on the exhale, warrior two. On your next inhale, you're going to shift forward, slowly step your right foot forward to left into mountain pose. Just take a moment here. We're going to come into a quadricep stretch. It does require some balance, so if you need to use a wall for balance, please do. We'll start on the left side, opening left side. So again, shift your body weight to your right foot. Hands can come to your hips for balance, or maybe right hand to a wall if you need it. You'll bend your left knee, reach behind you, grab the outer edge of your left foot. We still want that sense of lengthening through the tailbone, drawing the front body in and up so the shoulders stay stacked. We're not coming into a big back bend here. We want to feel the stretch in the front of our left hip. Left thigh, hug heel into buttocks. Just take a few big breaths into the sensation, into the stretch. And from here, we're going to come into a gentle standing bow. So on your inhale, reach your right arm up, palm facing in. And as we exhale, we're going to gently kick back into the left hand as you reach your right fingertips forward. Right arm can come parallel. Doesn't have to be a big shape. Pressing down to the right foot, hugging outer hip in as you kick back into the left hand. And next inhale, you'll gently come back up to center. Go ahead, release your left leg to the floor. We'll come into the other side. So you can always switch to turn to face the wall left side, so left hand can come to the wall for balance. Or left hand to your hip. Shift your body weight to your left leg, hug the outer hip in. Go ahead, bend your right knee, reach behind you with your right hand, grab the outer edge of your foot. Again, you can always use a wall on your left side for balance. Hugging heel into your right buttocks, lengthen through the tailbone. Draw the right knee down. Try not to lean forward with your upper body yet. We want to keep the shoulders stacked. We're hugging front body into back body. So finding the neutral spine first, neutral pelvis. Then we can start to come into bow. The left arm up and out, palm facing in. You'll start to kick back as you reach left arm forward. Doesn't have to be a big shape. Left knee can always have a slight bend too. Three more big breaths. Inhale, you'll gently come back up to center. Release your right foot, arms by your sides. Take a moment in stillness. Tadasana. On your next inhale, reach your arms out and up. Exhale, come into a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. On your exhale, you'll step back into downward facing dog. And whichever way can get you there with somewhat ease. Just take a few big breaths. Again, you're more than welcome to pedal it out, kind of neutralize here. Shake out head, neck. Any detoxifying breaths. It could be big sign breaths out of the mouth. Or horse breaths. Yeah, let's walk the hands back towards your feet. We are going to come into a squat pose, so if you need a block with you, please do. Heel toe your feet a little bit wider than hips. Heels turn in, toes turn out. You'll bend your knees, send your hips, buttocks towards the floor between your feet, your heels. You can always sit upon a block if you need to. Hands to your heart space. Elbows pressing into the outer or inner seams of your legs, wrapping outer hips underneath. Tailbone lengthens. Draw the front body in as you reach out from the center of your heart, front and back. Shoulder blades broad, collarbones wide. A few big breaths. And you'll gently make your way onto your buttocks. However you can get there with grace. We're going to come into a wide-legged forward fold. So feel free to sit upon something if you need to support your lower back, giving yourself that space. Walk your legs as wide as you can without feeling any excess pull in the inner seam, inner groins. Let's bring the hands just to the outer hips first. Lift your buttocks and think of lengthening tailbone down and gently forward. We're not really tucking, but just finding more space and length behind the pelvis in the lower back. And then butt to the floor, maybe your legs come out wider. Flex the feet, draw the thighs down so your knees and toes point up in neutral position in this abducting away from the body. You can stay right here, or on an inhale you'll find more length, and then as you exhale you can take it further into a fold. You can always bring forearms, maybe to the floor, maybe to a block, or two. We'll just take a few big breaths in this shape. Start to bring our energy inward, downward. Relax the shoulders. Relax the muscles of the face. Feel free to close your eyes. And as you find more range of motion, more space in the body, feel free to take it further. Just kind of depends on you, where you're at. You know, how big is baby today? Always coming from that place of curiosity, of compassion, self-love, especially as we move in this transitional part of pregnancy. The whole pregnancy is one big transition, right? But every day is so different. With your next inhale, gently bring your upper body back upright. We're going to come into bound ankle, seated Baddha Konasana. So the soles of your feet will come together. The knees will open out wide. Let's bring the heels a little bit further in just so we can get an outer hip stretch. Hands to the shins or your ankles, maybe to the outer edges of your feet, but press the soles of your feet together. Inhale, lengthen, and as you exhale, you'll come in towards a forward fold. Now, if you are bigger in the front body, if you're further along in your pregnancy, and the round ligaments in the front, near your pubic center that connects into the legs, the upper body, feels tight, feel tender, heels further out away from you will feel probably better. And it gives you more space. And it doesn't have to be a big forward fold. But wherever you're at, feel free to use the elbow-arm connection to draw the outer thighs closer to the floor. The head, the neck be fairly soft. The eye gaze just in front of your feet or to your feet. Let the breath start to slow, start to calm. Coming back to that rhythmic breath in and out through the nose. And with your next inhale, you'll gently come back upright. And we'll come into our final Shavasana position. So again, if you're comfortable on your back, you're more than welcome to do that. I'm going to stay seated upright. you are more than welcome to follow me. If you have yoga props or props around you, you can always come into a reclined position so you're not necessarily flat on the back, but keeping your hips or your shoulders above your hips. If you have a wall nearby, legs up the wall might feel nice, Viparita Karani. That could always be a good position in the end of this practice as well. So feel free to come into that shape too. But again, taking your time to find your final resting position, what feels right, what feels supportive. You can use blankets or anything to cover yourself to find more warmth. Something to cover your eyes to bring this sense of darkness or peace into the third eye, calmness. And eventually closing your eyes once you're in your final shape. Take any final adjustments, walking the shoulder blades closer, maybe just shifting your body weight if you're seated, finding that center of gravity. Imagining the back body on the same plane from your sacrum, the shoulder blades, back of the head. The eyes settle into the sockets, space between your brow, jaw. Working that drawing inward and reduction or reducing sensation from the crown down to the chain of the body. Allowing every exhale to bring you closer into that space of letting go and allowing yourself to be in this moment in time. I'm just going to guide us through a couple rounds or a few rounds of circular breath. And we'll start with the inhale in one direction, working from pelvis to the chest, and the exhale will be in that same direction. So one cleansing breath, draw the navel in, open the mouth, exhale everything out. Take a big breath in. Feel free to let it go with a sigh. Seal your lips. Inhale through the nose, pelvis, ribs, chest. Exhale through the nose, pelvis, ribs, chest. Inhale, pelvis, ribs, chest. Exhale, 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 pelvis, ribs, chest. Allow your next breath to come in more naturally. Maintain that circular motion, working from pelvis to chest. You can let it go completely. Just find your natural breath. Just take another moment or so in stillness. Allowing yourselves to integrate, to assimilate, to digest our intentions of the practice.